The worst moment of your life.
The worst moment of my life.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Go ahead, Ben.
Actually, so I mentioned it obviously a few times, but like one of the big reasons why I had like a turnaround moment with like I wanted to get back into university, I wanted to lose weight and all that good stuff was I had this terrible trip on shrooms, where I thought I was going to die. So what happened was we, as a group of friends, collectively agreed that we were all going to do it as a group and just try it, low dosage. And what had happened was we had all met that night. Everything's ready. We were gonna add it on top of pizza and eat it that way. I don't know how else anyone else does it. I was like, yo, it's a sick idea. Let's try it. And so we met up. We did it. And what happened was like everyone's kind of scared to go first. Like, oh, I don't want to go first. Someone else do it. And I was like, you know what? I will go first. I read up on it. Like I know just stay hydrated was like the main point of it. Don't freak out. Don't react. It gotta be natural. I will go first, but make sure you guys follow through. So I went first, and then as I was letting everything hit, I was like, okay, like who's next? Then our friend, who her name is Huffa. I'm not going to expose her. That's her nickname, Huffa. She went second. Everyone else bailed out. And I was like, guys, it's what the fuck? Like that's not cool. Like I'm like, but at the same time, I don't want to force anything on anyone, right? If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. But it's kind of shitty that like it was forced. It was almost like I was peer pressure to do it because everyone's like, yeah. If you do it, I'll do it for sure. So that's the whole thing I did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. And then the person who did it with me, she actually went to go puke it out, knowing that no one else was going to do it. And I was like, yo, should I just go do the same? Like, I don't want. And they're like, no, like we'll make it chill. Like it's going to be a good time. And what happened was once it was too late, like the effects started to sink in. They turn off the lights. We're in a basement. They turn off the lights, and we started watching a horror movie. Which is like the worst experience you can do. Like I was having the worst. I would say probably the worst time of my life because in that horror movie there was a rape scene, and when I was on shrooms, I thought it was like these people, like I knew them. Like I almost felt like I was watching someone I knew get raped, and I was like I was like
horrid.
losing my mind. Like
brutal.
And eventually, I was like, I have to go home. Like I can't do this. Like this is stupid. I'm like, can we change it? Can we change it? Like do something more upbeat? And everyone's like, no. And I was like,
yeah, that's
what? Like,
Yo, those
as my
suck,
friends,
bro.
That's fun.
as my friends.
That whole situation sucks.
So
man.
I drove home, which I also should not have done.
No, what?
Yeah.
The story just gets crazier and crazier.
So I drove home. I got home safe.
He thought he was driving home. He was riding like a wheelbarrow.
No, I mean basically my old SUV was a wheelbarrow. So yeah, I drove home. I like laid in my bed, and it's like a super. I forget what the word for it is, but like you can't go to sleep when you're on these. It's like coke. Like your energy is like peak, and I was having the worst time of my life. Like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to go to sleep. Like, I just wanted to like end the night. Like yo, like let me just go to bed. And I was tripping so hard. Like whenever I looked around the room, it was just like patterns everywhere. Like patterns. It was like nonstop movement. I was getting nauseous, and then it got worse. Where I was like, I had like in my mind, I had like very set that these people were in my basement, and my parents.
Oh my god!
So I kept feeling like I'm like, yo, I hope they're not loud waking up my parents. So I'd keep going down to their basement every hour to check on them to make sure they weren't loud, and no one was there.
Fucking hell.
And then I would come back up, and I ended up drinking like an entire case of water. No over exaggeration. Like I would pee every 15 minutes because I couldn't even sleep. So I just kept drinking water, peeing because I had to stay hydrated. I knew that was the one rule: stay hydrated so you don't, run into a health issue. And literally at one point, I accepted death. I'm like, if I die right now, like this is fine. Like it is what it is. Like I understand, Jesus. Right? And then like this whole like life reflecting moment. Like what could I have done better as a person? Not that I changed from being a piece of shit. I still am. But yeah, woke up the next morning. And I'm like, yo, I'm quitting that shit. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna go back into school, and I'm gonna drop my group of friends. And I dropped that group of friends that day. Never talked to them ever since. Well, I mean, I'm still friends with them like on social media and stuff, but like I don't.
That's fucked.
Talk to them directly. Yeah, I
like if you were having a bad trip, I'd be like, yo, like what can we do to help you feel better about it? Because bad trips are like the worst.
And I mean,
Terrible.
we wouldn't even start something to introduce about like starting a horror movie. Come on.
Like, why would you? Yeah, they're
Why,
like,
why was that a
like
good
that
idea?
sounds like it
from
was
the
like
get-go?
like Carlson. That sounds like it was purposely
Like intentional.
to
Yeah.
to make you.
Yeah,
have a
that's
bad time.
horrible.
That
That's
sucks.
horrible.
Yeah, I felt like I was like set up for failure, and like I was like, yo, like as friends, like I knew like they didn't have my back at that moment.
Yeah, dude, that
it's-
sucks big time.
Yeah, bad trips are. Yeah, bad trips are out there in terms of like I had one of those and I only had smoked. I thought it was like laced, but I walked around the block and I felt like it was the longest walk of my life. Every time I took a step, I felt like it rippled through the street, and I was laying down and I was like I'll never forget this. I was like in this endless loop of like, did I smoke? Yeah, I smoked. Am I thinking this out loud? Like, I don't know. And I would just be like, holy shit, I'm so high. But I wasn't talking. At least I don't think I was. But this, like, it was cyclical. Like, I just kept thinking about it. I was like, I need to call someone. I'm like, no, I've already called this person. I was like, I don't think I've called them. I was like, have I called them?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
should I? Oh, it was It was like I would never wish a bad trip. And again, I only smoked weed, so it was like, that's why I've actually that's one of the reasons why I won't ever do shrooms is like
Six, yeah.
the potential for a bad trip is just too high for my liking. But